It's good to be busy. Cannot complain whatsoever. It would be nice if obviously the weather kind of settled out and stuff, and I can get back in the garden and getting on that kind of tip and having that award-winning lawn and ting. But yeah, man, can't complain at all, man. Can't complain at all, sibling.
Yeah, I've dropped out of the race with the lawns, man. I need to, what I need to do, Noble. I need to go synthetic.
Nah, 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 nah. Don't do it, sibling,
But you say you're like
please.
that.
Yeah, yeah. My neighbors have got synthetic. I got a load of people have got synthetic, but it's easier than you think. Let me do a little micro build because people think, and this is it's all about knowledge, in it. Knowledge is power. Now, when I got the first palace, okay, you get a lawnmower, and you just mow the lawn, and when it gets high, when the grass gets a bit high, you mow it again. There's a little bit more to maintaining grass than just mowing your lawn once every month or so. There's a little bit more.
Break it down.
Right. So, in essence, number one, you've got to understand what type of soil that your grass is growing in. Most new developments, should we say, housing wise, have crap soil. It's generally clayed up. So, we don't have the best soil to even begin with. So once you've identified how bad the soil is or how good potentially the soil is, depending on where you are in Brom or the Black Country, so that's the starting point. If it's heavy clay, you might want to basically add some sand potentially, to clog to basically, because that will work its way down into the soil and break up the clay. When you've got clay, water goes on it, it gets really boggy. So people who got gardens and they think, yeah, there's certain areas in my garden that gets waterlogged, that's because of the clay. So we've got to change that thing out. Yeah. Aeration, that's another thing. Now, simple thing, get a fork, and it's laborious. So you can actually buy machinery to do this, but you go around and just stab the hell out your lawn. That way, you're releasing the compactation of the soil and you're allowing air to get in there. So this is the foundation thing. This is before you've even started to mow the thing. So now we're talking about mowing it. Twice a week you should be mowing your lawn.
Why?
Depending on what height you want, depending on what type of grass you have. Because I've gone for a real fine grass. I haven't gone for the big rise and all that.
It goes down from scratch, innit?
Nah. I've had to see. I did the total. See, I've been on the journey, sibling. I paid some landscapers to do the thing, and they said, do you want us to seed it, or do you want us just to put the rolls on? And because of time and aesthetics, I was like, yeah, just put the something on there. Yeah, just roll off, And they were obviously getting quality. I said, look, don't get no cheap stuff. Get the best quality rolled grass you can get. So they put that on there. It looks beautiful with the stripes on it and everything. Yeah. So that lasted 6 months, looking perfect. Me mowing it two times. Well, I wasn't even mowing it 2 times a week. Then I started seeing these weeds coming up from here and this part and that part. I'm putting some nitrogen on there to green it up and stuff in the pellet formats as well. I might add, you can do it in liquid or you can do it in pellet format. Pellet is slow releasing. And there's also another substance I put on there which breaks down the clay content to make it, more soil versus clay. So I'm doing all these things and I'm looking at the grass and I'm like, And then I did some extra work in the garden. And then when I put the new seed down, I looked at the difference in the grass. I was like, nah, I'm changing the whole landscape of this grass. So over about a 2-year period, I've been overseeding the grass and killing off the the expensive kind of grass, the thick bladed grass, and replacing it with a fine ornate, they call it ornate grass. And sibling, here's a compliment. And all the work I'm putting in, I'm spending money, I ain't even getting to how much I'm spending. I'm spending money on this thing.
Yeah.
I had some guests around, and they were this is exactly when we had that heat wave thing. No, not the last heat wave, the heat wave before. We had a real nice patch of nice sun.
That's July last year.
Yeah. So we're all in the garden now, in the patio and shit, chilling out, having some wine and some dragon stouts, etc. And I'm in the kitchen now doing my thing, entertaining, whatever. And the Empress comes in and was like, you never guess what? People think the grass
Synthetic.
is that synthetic? I've got come out and I'm like, you think? And I said, yo, come and touch it, go sit on it. And they're always like, yo, we did think this is that lay down, throw your sand on there, brush it. I was like, no, this is real. So yeah, man, some hard work. But once you put that work in initially, all it is, and one of the key things I've just missed out as well, is the scarification. So think about it like your hair. You can't just trim around the sides and whatever. You're gonna get knots and you're gonna get extra growth and whatever. So you've got to comb out your hair. So when you're scarifying it, you're removing dead grass and moss and all kind of little bits and pieces. So you're thinning out the grass to make it to make the air run through it, to make the grass more healthy. So you're doing that on maybe twice a year, and you'll be surprised at how much thatch comes out. When you first do it, you think, "Raw, am I going to be taking out the the grass itself?" But what you're doing is you're removing all the thatch and the moss and all that kind of stuff, and that will take a bit of time doing it by hand. Again, you can get machines to do this, but this again all aids in maintaining healthy grass. So once you've sorted out the soil, removed thatch twice a year, and you're mowing like twice a week, if you can, depending on how low you want your grass as well. Some people want it higher than whatever. Then that's the hard work is just mowing it and trimming it, and then adding your products on there. So
I'm gonna have to get on it. I'm gonna have to get, and I got some leaves to pick up and all that later on. So